Behold the North Yorkshire Moors, and welcome back to LMM. And if you're enjoying the kind of stuff that you're seeing on the channel at the moment, how about giving this video a like and maybe subscribing, help us grow here at the channel. Now obviously, if I'm in the North Yorkshire Moors, I'm only here for one thing, and that's right, this is the weekend of the North Yorkshire Moors Gala. And there's a couple of things that I want to see. A, there are goods trains running. B, there's a double header between number 85, the Visitor, and number 29, the Lamport Tank, which will be super to see because they work together, I believe. And finally, top of the list, is I want to see Gresley back in its NYMR wartime black livery, which translates as we haven't had time to paint it livery. Got the camera, got the drone. I'm just out of a no-fly zone. So yeah. And obviously it is a long old way to get here, and I left very early in the morning and should have put boots on apparently before coming up to this bit because this is damp. Anyway, onwards and upwards, because I'm now approaching the railway. And this is just up from the summit, which is the structure over there. And this will do me super. So that was a lovely way to start the day, and now we're going to move on and do another shot. So back to the car and head up the line somewhat.
And with that, I jumped into my car and headed off to the next location.
There is one main blessing to the railway being so long, having such a lax timetable, and that's it gives you plenty of time between each shot to reposition. There's some railways, if you move, you miss something. At the Moors, plenty of time to go for a walk, find a new shot. It's a blessing. So lots of time to try and find a nice open shot somewhere around here to see Gresley. that was actually great to get to see Gresley again. I haven't seen it obviously in years. I've seen it in black. It was nice, but you know, it's not quite the same.
Still lamenting the loss of BR Blue on the A4, I pulled myself together, hopped back into the car and headed off to my next location in search of a double header. By this point in the day, things had already started to go wrong with the timetable, and whilst this train was indeed on time, I had a suspicion that the returning train that it had to pass would be delayed, and that would give me the opportunity to zip ahead and get it a second time.
I reckon I can catch it. I think I can, but I really do need to run.
Turns out, I didn't really need to hurry because I was in time to see the train that the double header would have to pass.
Very late. That was about 15 minutes down on departure. It's worked in my favour, although I have now done the same shot twice, which wasn't on my agenda today, but never mind.
Feeling relatively satisfied, I decided to return to the plan and go to my next location, which was a fair drive away, but had been but a short walk from where I had first seen the doubleheader. Best laid plans of mice and men and all.
One of the other things about the moors is it is just breathtakingly pretty. Just not even the railway, just this bit with the river running down over there. And the path with a vague bit of protection on it. as we walk up to the railway. Now, at this point, I've absolutely no idea when there's a train coming, what's meant to be next, or anything, because the timetable is so far out. But I think the next thing coming down is meant to be Green King. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, who knows at this point. It's all a little bit exciting finding out. But it does make planning the rest of my day kind of complicated. So this is the railway, we'll see what we can do. So much to everybody's confusion, shortly before I arrived, a 37 hauled the train with a 31 on the rear, apparently, which is timetabled to be the standard for pocket rocket with a diesel on the rear, but it was timetabled to be after the S15. So basically, I have no understanding of what's meant to be next. Absolutely not a single sausage. So I'm going to go have a look at a shot and then reposition, I think, and head down, because I really want to see Lucy down at Levisham. And I want to see the freight, so I think I might go down there next and try and get set up for that. Well, that was lovely. I'm still confused to the timetable. So that was the standard 5 doing its thing. So they sent the diesels early, which should have been the pocket rocket, which has presumably failed, but then haven't sent them early again now, which makes no sense. So they'll now be late to do the Whitby run.
Still not really sure what was going on, I headed on towards the south of the line to see Lucy.
To give you guys an idea of just how far behind they are at the Gala, between the last time I recorded anything, I've gone and got fuel, drove to another location in time to see Standard 5 arrive the second time. But yeah, it's one of I don't think I've been to a gala in a long while that has run quite this late.
Railway, you.
Of course, Lucy is the same Type 4 cockerel as the one we have at the Mid Suffolk Light Railway, and so I hugely enjoyed watching this shunting around. But after I'd got my fill, I headed on off, determined to catch the last goods train of the day.
So to give you guys an update of what's going on, I am currently waiting for the 14:44. It is currently 16:20. The train has not come. They have put up on a post on Facebook saying that they're cancelling some trains, so the last freights have been cancelled, which is really annoying because I wanted to see that, because they are running up to an hour delayed. Well, they're not, are they? They're getting close to 2 hours. It's pretty bad. I know these things happen, but yeah, it's not going well. So I've been stood here for I don't know what. I left Leversham thinking might be tight to get here to see Grizzly. Nothing's happened. Right, so they are having that gone that way and the J27 going back that way. They are now exactly 2 hours behind. So I'm going to go back up to Moorgate and see maybe one, maybe two more, and then I'm going to call it because they're so far behind. It's got daft and it's getting, well, the light's gone and I have a long way to go home, but let's try and see at least one more.
Not really knowing what, if anything, I was going to see, I once again headed off into the moors, totally scuppering all of my plans, as I'd hoped to finish the day down by Pickering, which is a little bit closer to home. But nevertheless, I wanted to see what was going to turn up.
I got here, I met some people, in fact I met some friends, and got told that the train that I wanted to see has been cancelled. The S15 I just missed coming down, despite it was meant to be on the train next coming. It's already gone through running what the Q6 was running. So that's disappointing. So we think there's going to be one more train running, which is going to be, we think, probably the standard 5, because that needs to be down that end. Probably, but we don't know. The timetable has just gone to pot. That was the Q6 on its own. We literally have no idea why the Q6 on its own did that. The only thing I can assume is that despite its train being cancelled, the last train of the day is meant to be hauled by the Q6 and the S15 needs to be down that end for the first train tomorrow, so they've sent it light to pull the last train back. Who knows, it's exciting though. A4s will forever look so very wrong when they're going backwards. Just doesn't look right. I understand the logistics of everything. I don't expect them to just hand of God turn it around every time, but it just looks wrong. So with that running, the round trip's taking it something like 4 and a bit hours, and it's something like 2 hours? 2 and a bit hours behind schedule now? Many hours. Perhaps we'll see the standard 5 and that will be the end of the gala and we'll go home, which is now actually, despite the fact they've cancelled a train, swapped the locomotives over, and the train left on time, it is now half hour late again? I'm not sure. So I've just done the maths. As it approaches, as that gets into Goathland, it is the grand total of 2 hours, 22 minutes down. which personally for me, I think is a record for a gala. I have never ever seen something quite that late. And that is with all the freight being cancelled, a train in each direction being cancelled, and it's still that late. So that's quite good. And locomotive swaps. So the train that is due to come down, that is actually due to be in Pickering in 10 minutes from now. It left on time, it's just been sat at Goathland all this time. So that's going to be spectacularly late, about a good half hour down. And then I'm going home. So that marks the end of this gala, or at least it's the end of the gala as far as I actually care, because it's late, it's getting dark, anything that's coming back will be the wrong way round, and yeah. So apart from the fact it was the most late running gala I think I've ever been to, certainly the most late running gala I've ever filmed, it was rather good fun. So I have very much enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, how about clicking somewhere over there for one of the other galas that we've done, or visit with the whole chasing dinosaurs thing. And with that, I now have a 4.5 hour journey back home. Click the links. Ta-ra.